This man walked into court smiling like he already won the case. But 10 minutes later, Judge Judy called him exactly what nobody expected to hear on national television. "You're a hustler." And the moment she slammed her hand on the desk, the entire courtroom went silent. What started as a simple business partnership between two hard-working women and a restaurant owner quickly turned into one of the most explosive courtroom showdowns Judge Judy had ever seen. By the end of the hearing, lies were exposed. A hidden government shutdown notice shocked the courtroom, and one man's smooth-talking confidence completely collapsed under pressure. It all began in Waco County, Texas. Brenda McNair was not the kind of woman who took risks lightly. For 14 years, she had worked steadily at a credit union, living a quiet and responsible life. Her close friend Marcia, on the other hand, had spent years building her catering business from the ground up. Together, the two women dreamed of something bigger, owning a restaurant, not just a small kitchen, not just a food truck, a real restaurant. A place where Marcia could expand her catering operation while Brenda helped manage the business side. They had already spent years working together, planning recipes, discussing customers, and imagining what their future could become. Then they met Amir Zakirali. Amir owned a restaurant called Al Mirage. According to him, he had recently lost a business partner and was looking for new investors. When Marcia first visited the restaurant, she was impressed. The building was large. There was a full kitchen, outdoor patio seating, restaurant equipment, even a hookah lounge area. To Marcia and Brenda, it looked like the opportunity they had been waiting for. Amir knew exactly how to sell the dream. He talked about expansion, profits, partnerships, events, catering. He painted a picture so exciting that the women could already imagine themselves running the place together. At first, their idea was simple: use the restaurant kitchen for catering orders. But after seeing the size of the establishment, they began discussing a full partnership with Amir himself. The conversations moved quickly, too quickly. Amir drafted a rough agreement himself, full of spelling mistakes and poor grammar, promising future partnership terms. According to the document, official contracts would later be prepared by an attorney to Brenda and Marcia. That sounded normal enough. They trusted him, and trust would become their biggest mistake. On May 29th, Brenda gave Amir $500. The very next day, she handed over another $8,500, $10,000 total. Practically, their entire investment fund. Amir accepted the money happily and even handed them the keys to the restaurant. Everything seemed perfect until a few minutes later. After Amir left the building, Brenda and Marcia began exploring the restaurant more carefully. They walked through the kitchen, inspected the storage rooms, and looked around the office area. That's when they found it: a notice folded away inside the restaurant, official government paperwork, and the second they read it, their stomachs dropped. The restaurant's food permit had been revoked, not temporarily, not for a few days, for a minimum of 1 full year. The notice stated the business had been shut down because of repeated unsanitary health violations that posed a threat to public safety. The health department had effectively banned the establishment from operating as a food business, the exact kind of business Brenda and Marcia thought they were investing in. Panic immediately set in. The women realized something horrifying. They had just handed over $10,000 to a man whose restaurant legally could not serve food, And according to them, Amir never mentioned any of it, not once. They demanded answers. Amir claimed everything was fine. He insisted the women could simply apply for their own permits later. He argued that parts of the establishment were still operating, including the hookah lounge and beer and wine service. But Brenda and Marcia knew something was terribly wrong. The trust was shattered. Eventually, the dispute ended up in Judge Judy's courtroom. And from the second the hearing started, Judge Judy sensed something suspicious. She listened carefully as Brenda explained the business arrangement. Judge Judy repeatedly asked one critical question: "What exactly were you buying?" The answer was obvious: food service, catering, restaurant operations. That was the entire reason the women invested. Then the shutdown notice was presented in court. The atmosphere changed instantly. Judge Judy read the document carefully. Her expression hardened with every line. Repeated violations, gross unsanitary conditions, potential imminent threat to public health. Permit revoked for a minimum of 1 year. The courtroom became dead quiet. Then she looked directly at Amir. "When did you tell them this?" she asked. Amir immediately claimed he had informed both women before taking their money, but Judge Judy wasn't buying it. Not even a little. The more Amir spoke, the worse things became for him. Every time the judge asked a direct question, he dodged it. Instead of clearly answering whether he told the women about the shutdown, he kept talking about licenses, permits, future applications, and other businesses operating inside the building. Judge Judy grew visibly frustrated. "Don't be a hustler with me," she snapped. The audience erupted in nervous laughter, but Amir kept trying. He insisted he explained everything. He claimed the women understood the situation. He argued they knew he personally could not operate the kitchen. Judge Judy interrupted him again. "No, no, no, no," she said while pounding the desk. The energy in the courtroom completely shifted. Now everyone could see what Judge Judy saw. Amir was carefully avoiding the real issue, so she cornered him. She asked him to repeat the exact conversation where he supposedly warned the women. What did he say? When did he say it? What were their reactions? Amir stumbled. Instead of answering directly, he repeated vague statements about permits and applications. That's when Judge Judy exploded. "You're a hustler," she declared. The audience gasped. Judge Judy then reconstructed the conversation herself in brutal detail. "Brenda," she said mockingly, pretending to be Amir, "before we go into business together, I just want you to know that because of repeated health violations, I lost my license, and the restaurant has been shut down for at least a year." Then she looked at Brenda. "Did he tell you that?" "No," Brenda answered immediately. Judge Judy turned to Marcia. "Did he tell you?" "Never," replied, and in that instant, the entire case collapsed. Judge Judy knew exactly what happened. There was no chance these women would have handed over $10,000 if they knew the restaurant had been shut down by the health department. No reasonable investor would do that. Amir's story made no sense. He had hidden the most important fact in the entire deal. The courtroom tension was unbearable. Amir sat there speechless while Judge Judy delivered the final blow. "Of course not," she said coldly. "Hustler." Then came the judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5. 0. Counterclaim dismissed. Just like that, the smiling businessman who walked confidently into court lost everything, but the real lesson of the story went far beyond the money. Brenda and Marcia learned the hard way that excitement can blind people to warning signs. They trusted promises instead of demanding proof. They invested based on dreams instead of verified facts. And Amir learned something too. You can fool people during a sales pitch, you can hide paperwork, you can twist words. But under pressure, the truth always slips out, especially in Judge Judy's courtroom, because once the lies started unraveling, there was nowhere left to hide.